Good morning. In today's video we're going to talk about the mistakes I made moving to Thailand. And don't worry, there's only three of the main things, and well, these three things really are for anywhere in the world, moving or living or just life anywhere in the world. And at the end of the video I'll summarize and maybe talk about some of the things we did right, and some of the little tips that I've got, general tips for moving here. Starting nice and early here on Kata Beach. Going to take a walk, talk, and go over these mistakes I've made or almost made. No. Anyway, we'll talk and get into it. Woke up to some big news this morning. The Queen has died. The Queen of England, of UK, has died. So yeah, I'm not a big royalist, but yeah, I believe she did her job well. She stepped up to the mark at an early age and deserves respect for what she's done. I think she held that family together, and the worrying thing I think is who's going to fill her shoes. Anyway, let's take a walk and talk about the mistakes I made moving to Thailand. Let's go. Okay, number one. We're all going to relate to these in some way, but really this is my personal thing with me, Some of you maybe not, but a lot of you will relate. Number one, I wrote down, I've got my little notes here. Spending too much money in the beginning. So yeah, I think this is a obvious one for all of us, You come here, you're starting new, and you spend too much money to begin. But I think part of it is, woohoo, it's like a celebration, and it's all new, I'm living in a new country. It's like being on holiday in the beginning. Yeah, spending too much money. So I think we all do this in the beginning, and the main reason I believe, for me, definitely was I kept converting the money back to my home currency for too long. Now, after 2.5 years of living here, I've stopped converting the money unless it's a very big amount, like buying a home. Then I want to know how much in English, but general food, rent, bills, I'm operating now in baht. Before I'd always take out my phone, convert it to pounds. People come in the garden now and tell me how much things cost. They tell me in dollars or something. I'm like, now I'm converting it to baht. So it took me a long time to switch to baht. So my tip would be, stop converting it. Get your mind into bahts, into this currency, and then you compare prices here. Stop comparing prices to home, because yeah, that's what I was doing wrong, comparing prices to home, and you make it think it's cheap, but really it's not. You got to compare it to Thai prices. But hey, you need a blowout, and to get, have a good old blowout and get that out of your system in the beginning, and splash the cash, and then get it under control. Okay, time for number two, and what I wrote down here in my notes. Letting myself become undisciplined regarding vices. So yeah, we're in beautiful Thailand, beautiful beaches, beautiful sunsets, and this probably, this doesn't count for everybody, but for many, for me, what definitely is, I have to keep myself on check regarding vices. There's many vices in the world. Mine is I like a drink, and in this beautiful place it can quite easily become, an easy place to become distracted. You know, it puts you on a high, it makes you feel good. And at sunset you see many people around having a drink, and you're like, yeah, let's have a drink, and yeah, you can really get sucked into this side of this place. And for me, in the beginning, this wasn't a problem. The first year I was really focused on something else, but I'd say when the pressure, in the second year, when a bit more pressure was getting involved, I maybe turned to a little tipple more often than I should. Now there's new vices here that are legal, you can do, you know. That's not for me. I know why I quit smoking the old green stuff in my 20s. It's not for me. So yeah, but some people might come along and you might get drawn into this. There's many vices out there, and if you've got a lot of time in a beautiful place on your hands, you could maybe fall foul of getting involved in partaking in too much good stuff, you know. So the one tip I've got, the best tip to combat this, is you need something to do. You need a hobby. If you're retired and you've got time and money on your hands, then it's far easier to fall for this. For me, I started the YouTube, then started the business. It's even, I have to keep in check even though I'm busy. I'm busy a lot of the time. If you're not busy, it's so much easier, and you need something to do anyway. For example, one person I know, retired here, he takes photos. Took up photography, he's got a Facebook page, and he's not posting these pictures for money, he's posting it for enjoyment, something to do. I definitely think having a hobby before you come, and a good woman before you come, is definitely, yeah, these things can really help you. Hey, I still like to go out, I still like to enjoy myself, but you just got to keep it in check and don't fall into the trap. Many come and really fall down here and drink themselves to death. Some people, you know, some people come and just drink it all away until all that money's gone and they have nothing, and people can take advantage when you're constantly drinking, not in your right state of mind, and you can lose your way. It could still happen to me. I have to keep myself in check. So yeah, be careful of the vices. There's many around here in Thailand, and you can get sucked into that world and spat back out the other side with nothing. Okay, this is my number 3. Health and fitness. I lost track of my health and fitness, and yeah, all these 3 tie in together, 1, 2 and 3. If I keep these 3 pillars of life in focus, then I tend not to lose track and go the wrong way in life. And I'm not telling anyone what to do, I'm just sharing my mistakes. Stick around for part 4, the summarise. There I'll give the best tips, maybe some of the things that we did right. Yeah, if I lose track of staying healthy and fit, then it impacts the rest of my life. And yeah, I'm not saying become the fittest person here, and the gym, I get very bored of the gym, and I always end up quitting my fitness journey. But now I focus on stuff that I like doing, which is walking, jogging. I love to walk for miles. I can walk like you wouldn't believe. So yeah, this is what I do. Walking, bit of jogging, and just eating healthy, generally trying to stay healthy. If you focus on 3, you can't partake in 2 too much, and you haven't got, you need the money to spend to do number 2. So all 3 kind of tie in together. If you focus on these 3 things, can help you. Hey look, they can help you in life, but when you're moving to another country and trying something new, you need to stay focused and not get drawn into doing the wrong things. And I think in my head, if you move to another country and at least become healthier and fitter, and you end up having to go home at any point, at least you go home broke but in a better condition than when you went. If you come here and spend all your money doing vice stuff and go home broke, unhealthy, out of shape, you kind of failed in a big way. At least go home happy, healthy and in shape and broke. I could live with that. I could live with anything. Nothing's going to break me down, but just have in mind, at least yeah, just live healthy while you're here. I think it could really help you in any kind of venture that you do. Okay, it's time to summarize, and the next video, I was going to do this part in our business, but a little bit busy and noisy there, so I'll finish it here. In the next video I'm going to do the mistakes I made starting a business here, so that'll be followed on from this video. And to summarize this one, what would I do differently? And the answer really is nothing. I don't think there's anything I would do differently, because any mistakes I've made, hey, mistakes, failure, this is where we learn, this is where we have our biggest lesson. If you fall flat on your face, sometimes it's the best lesson in life. Get your heart broken. This has to happen to us throughout life and makes us the person we are. So yeah, I wouldn't change anything. I just gonna give you a tip for, the biggest downfall I see here is the relationship wise. People fall down and pick the wrong person. I luckily found the right person, Maybelle, a good woman that's got my back and supports me in everything we do here together. We're doing it together. So yeah, that's definitely where, and people are like, you're lucky, you found a good woman. Hey, I didn't find Maybelle with luck. I found her through searching online. I then got a ferry to PP. I then from PP got a long-tail boat to another part of the island just to have the first date. Yeah, I went out my way to get there. I've dated lots of other girls. Yes, there's loads of freelancers, etc, etc. There's all this stuff online. Yeah, of course. You need to search for the diamond in the rough. And you need to put yourself out there to actually find. Wonder Woman is not going to fall out of the sky and land in your lap. Go and find a woman who's suitable for you. Yeah? If it's based on I see many people having relationships here and it's all based on money, and I think to myself, would you pick this woman and do what you're doing here at home? And the answer is most of the time, no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't do what you're doing here back at home. That's not how relationships start and proceed and work. This doesn't work. If it's based on money, it's gonna fail somewhere down the line. But anyway, learn, fail, and move on. If you're not learning and you do it again and again and again, then maybe you need a word with yourself. Yeah, so other than that, do some research, get on with it, don't overthink it, book a ticket, come on the longest visa you can, change your home phone number to a pay-as-you-go SIM, because you're going to need it for your banking, get on a plane and just go for it. Yeah, learn, make some mistakes along the way. Be a fast learner, that's the main thing. If you can learn fast, you'll do alright. And yeah, come enjoy Thailand. But that's just, hey, I'm not telling anyone what to do, just sharing my mistakes, what I focus on, and maybe it will help somebody else. But anyway, that's it. The next video, mistakes I made starting a business here. Thanks for watching, take care, See you in the next one. Goodbye.